I'm so excited. I've done it. They said it couldn't be done. Well, maybe didn't. But look, I've done it. Oh my God. Today, I'm going to teach you how I've done the ribbed cuffs and the hood on a sweater, hexagon, with a ribbed bottom. I am absolutely over the moon. So over the moon, I've turned blonde. Stay tuned. I'm excited.
Have you ever wanted to make a sweater type of hexagon cardigan jumper rather than a cardigan? Well, that's what I'm doing today. So I'm using a size 4. I've got my little scissors, couldn't find my normal ones. Darn needle, stitch markers, clips, and this yarn, I think I got it off eBay. It's double knit, variegated yarn, 100 grams, and I used best part of 10, so it was just short of 10 balls of this, because I'm going to be using a hood as well, making a hood. Yeah, so stay tuned, because this is probably my best video. Thank you. So to begin, I chain 4. I don't like the magic ring. I don't know why, it just never seems to stay for me. And I'll slip stitch into the first of the chains, and we're going to go right into a double crochet, which would be my chain 2, and then I'll look for the middle. Be careful there, because you could slip into a normal chain. You want right in the center hole. Should have really went a bit closer in hindsight, now looking at it. So I'm going to do another double crochet and another double crochet, chain 2, and then back into that same center ring. This is why I like to do it into a chain, because I think it's a bit more robust, because we are doing 6 sides. So it's like a granny square, but you're going to do 6 sides instead of the 4. And then you chain in your 2 in between each, because that's going to give you your corner. If you keep your chain 2s in every corner, you're going to give yourself plenty of room there. And it does grow with you. It's just fiddly at the beginning, but once you get a few rows down, you'll be grand. And you're just trying to make you have a little bit of wiggle room there. So we're still going into that centre until we've got all of our 6 clusters. So I'll call them a granny cluster. So it's 3 double crochet into the same stitch as a granny cluster. Squeeze. So we're going to have some more room there. Chain 2, and then we're going to look for the top of that first chain 3 stitch, are we? Oh no, we're not. We're going in for another cluster. See, I wasn't counting then. Now we're looking for our 3rd stitch up at the top, just there. Slip stitch. And that is your first round. 6 sides. And sometimes I turn, if I'm on the same colour, I will turn my work back just so that it stops it from slanting over to one side. Now we're going to do your cluster, chain 2 and cluster into your chain 2 spaces all the way back around. So just look for that next gap. Like I say, it is a bit tight to start with, but once you get the hang of it, it's easier. You can spot where the gaps are. And I didn't really want to, I was going to fast forward, but I don't really want to go too fast or miss any of these stitches in the first couple of rounds. So I know it could be boring for you. If it is, you can just fast forward it to the next part. But I just thought for anybody that's wanting to watch what it actually looks like from the beginning. And then once you get a few rounds in, I don't want to be sat recording because I've nothing to say at this moment in time. What I will say is I am actually chaining 1 as well in between the clusters. So in the corners I chain 2. I know the yarn keeps getting stuck on the side of the table. It's annoying. And then when you can see the next gap, I'm going to chain 1 and then do my next cluster. That's just to stop it from stretching out too far. Now I'm just looking to slip stitch into the top of that first stitch again. If I'm on the same colour, I'll chain 3 and turn. And the first 3 will be part of my next cluster stitch. So this round, I'll be putting them into the middle. See, we've got our corners, and now we've got a middle gap. That'll just be a single lot of clusters. So it's your 3 on its own. So your double clusters, so your clusters for your corners, you'll never have the more than the 6. And now we'll just be adding on down the straight edges. So chain 2 and then back into that same stitch for your corner. we're slip stitching to close this round. And now I'm on the same colour. I don't want to go back on myself because I want to carry the cream forward. So I'm just slip stitching into the middle of the next cluster and then slip stitching into the gap and doing my normal chain for my first cluster, double crochet. And we're carrying on like this. I'm sorry I didn't put any music on it. I've never done music before over it, but I didn't want to, well, I don't know how to. But I didn't want to be too distracting because I'm not going to be really, once I get going, we won't really have many gaps, I hope. Anyways, we're just going to do another round. We'll have your corner as per usual, and then we're adding a side, two sides now, single clusters on their own, and it won't lay flat. So you'll know you're on the right track because we're going to keep going round. So with my first side, I done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rounds on that side on the first bit. So I'll meet you at the end of 16 rounds, or however many rounds you need for your size. So my back is 20 inches across from shoulder to shoulder. That's all I ever need to know. I can decide on the length and the cuffs, and because I want to do a border to give room for the neck, if that makes sense, I only want to work 8 inches. So if you look at this, what I've already done, is about 8 inches, maybe 8.5. Yeah, about 8.5. So for 8.5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 rounds. So I write 16, which is right, because normally when I'm doing a cardigan I'll do about 20 because I want it a big loose cardigan, but because this is a jumper I want to make it a bit tighter. So it's 8 inches. But yeah, I'd always measure yourself and not go off my measurement or anybody else. So you just measure across your back, half it from shoulder to shoulder was 20, half that is 10, and then you want to leave some inches for your border or for your neckline. If you were doing a cardigan it would be your border. So it's 2 inches on either side I've given myself. So I'm left with 8. So just measure it, keep working until you've got your 8.5 inches, if that makes sense. I hope so. So for me that was 16 rounds. So I will carry on with this until I've got, so I'll be showing you exactly what I've done here. I'll be showing you exactly what I've done, so don't worry about that. I just wanted to get ahead and do one full side before I joined it together, so that I could have it all in my head what I wanted to explain it to you. Okay, so keep going until you've got the round. So say if you were 30 inches across the back, so you'd be like that. 30 would be from shoulder to shoulder. Then you would take it down to 15 for both sides, and then you would want to leave a gap for your neckline because we'll be doing a kind of a V neck. you could actually leave 3, so then you'd be working 12 inches, and that would give you plenty. So 12 inches on each side. Well, it could be round about 22 rows. Yeah, because I'm just looking there, I've done 8, and the size of my stitches I've doubled up from 8 to 16. I don't know if there's any magical maths in that, but you never know. Our first, well, your first on second, if you want to make 2 up to your 16 rounds or your 15 rounds or your 24 rounds, whatever, and I'll meet you back when we've got this to our bigger size and ready to sew the shoulders up together. Right, we've done a couple of rounds now, so I just want to check that I'm doing it right, even though I've got 6 sides. I know I'm doing it right. So we get the 2 corners close to each other, put them together. I'll just take this out of the way, flatten it out, and you can see now that you're on the right track. Okay, so we're just going to slip into the next space available and do carry on with my rounds, quite happily sitting here watching the TV, relaxing, doing some rounds. Thought I'd just pop on and show you that little nugget. I think all of my hexagon cardigans from now on are just going to be variegated because it's so much easier than having to attach wool and sew in all the ends of all the different colours. As long as nobody asks for one of multicolours, but for now, all the ones I'm going to make are just going to be variegated. Or the same colour. I don't think I've done one actually. That could be the next one. Yeah, variegated. I mean, all one colour. Okay, so we've done 16 rows on our second half. Now I'm going to just line the shoulder part up. So remember, it's the shortest edge, not the shortest edge. We're going to take the 2 corners close to each other and just pull up. I've used exactly 2 of these on so far, which is I've done the 16 rows. So that's as far as I wanted the sleeves. I'm just going to check my first part because I'm just going to try and get a similar feel of, you know, how light and dark. So that's kind of dark on there. Probably do that as the back because I wanted it to be lighter, but because it's variegated yarn, so I quite like that as being the front, so that's going to stay there. And if that's the back, oh no, then they're both quite dark there. What about, no, I'll have to keep it the same. Right, so what I'm going to do is start on the shoulder edge and crochet down the edge of here. So I'll just get it into my the way that I like to crochet from right to left, and I've got a little tiny bit left of the yarn that was already the last of that 2 skeins. Now I'll start with another fresh skein of yarn, ball of yarn. All right, So this is going to be your shoulder edge, and we're going to work our way down the sleeve and do some rounds at the bottom. So we'll just start for this for now. We'll just get into the corner gap, and then the corner gap. Oh, wrong side. Make a loop and pull that through and crochet that. So I'm just going to crochet through me 2 on that side and 2 on that side. Oh, I got it the right way. Oh, it doesn't really matter. I was going to say have I got it the right way, but as long as you tie your ends in on at the end, you can't really see with this variegated yarn and crochet really. So I'm just going to pick up these 2, pick up them 2, and as I'm working my way across the top seam, just make sure that you're picking up both sides. Okay, so I'm just going to stop there for a second. Once I've got it started, I want to jump down to this end. I've left my stitch markers downstairs. I'm just going to put a stitch marker safety pin, so from that corner to that corner, just clip it into place there. And it's just so I don't lose my way, because it could slip. So just make sure that I'm keeping it nice and neat all the way, crocheting down to the sleeve edge. Oh, it's a bit cold up here. Okay, so I will meet you back at the end of this sleeve edge. You needn't watch me do all of these stitches. We're just making sure that we're picking up both sides. And this yarn's a little bit splitty as well. I'm just going to take that was a cold. Oh. I'm just going to carry on to the end of this seam. I'm nearly done. Not nearly done with the whole shebang though, just nearly done with this little section. That's the problem, isn't it, when you have an idea and then you want to get it done in a one day, but this takes a couple of days. So by the time you get fed up and want to go on to something else is shiny and sparkly that you want to have a go. Right, so luckily I've got my other one to check back on. So this was the opposite way on. Let's have a look. So I finished there, and then I've done 1, 2, 3. Is that right? Oh, I've done a fair few rows. Right. Okay, so that was my last one. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of course I have 10 rows. So what I will do then is on my little diagrams. So if I write down the hexi jumper with hood, so when I've come to make it next time, I should remember, it'll just give me, it'll jog my memory on. So the sleeve, I'm just going to do another diagram. So I can remind myself. So this is 10 more rounds, because we're working in the rounds now. So that will be for the sleeve. And then I'm going to do a cuff separate. So, but we'll work on one thing at a time, so we don't get overwhelmed. So to start off on our rounds, because we've got a gap there and a gap there, we're going to come right up the middle, chain 2. This is going to be classed as a chain 1. Then I'm going to go into this side of it and double crochet there, chain 1 and double crochet into the next. So I'm going to be working all the way around, chain 1 in between, like we have been. All the way around. I haven't been able to control this variegated yarn, the rainbow one that I done the previous video. I'll put the link above. I was able to control by, you could see the colour variations coming along the skein of yarn, but because it was in a cake. But with this, I haven't been able to see, and it's just dotted about where I haven't been able to say, oh well, this is coming up to a dark patch, so I'll start here. So both sides are going to be completely different to each other, but it won't matter, because it is what it is. It's variegated, and it's a mishmash of colours, but I do really like the colours now. It's all being crocheted out, even the dark, because when I come across the dark, I thought, oh, it might be too much, but it's not. It's nice, because it's got a mixture of it's actually blended as well with a light colour. So yeah, I am really happy with that. So we're just going to keep on going in the rounds. I want to just show the first round, and then I'll let you to finish the rest of the 10 rounds, and just finishing the last one. I think the top row, yeah, the very, very last row, I haven't put a chain in between, because I wanted to cinch it in a little bit, if that makes sense. So there's no chain in between, so it's just coming a little tiny little bit, ready for our cuffs, which we'll be moving on to next. I'll just show you. We'll go work all our way around this sleeve ending. We're in the middle of January, the 74th. Why is it January just feels like the longest? Everybody's waiting for payday. And because you get your payday early in December, and then a normal time in January, it feels like forever away. Well, it has been. Okay, so this is all I wanted to show you, was this part. As we're coming round. There's a lot of cream in this. Well, I was hoping there was be a bit more of this this oh, like cappuccino colour, but mocha is the colour of 2025. You heard it here. I don't know if you heard it before, but you've heard it here again. Right, so we're coming up to the end of our first round. So we've got our chain that we used to join, and our joining chain. We're coming up to the top. We use that as a centre one. We've got one at that side, and then we've still got this gap here. So I'm not going to put a chain one in there. I'm just going to double crochet in right into that gap, and I'm going to do another one because I just feel like I need to secure it a bit better. And then we're going to join it there. So you could have just maybe just left it as the 3. I don't know. And then I'm going to just slip stitch into that gap, chain 2, and then go for 10 rounds. Well, 9 rounds. Nine rounds with a chain 1 in between each cluster, and then your 10th round so the 10th sleeve, the 10th round has no chain stitch between clusters. So that should remind me for the next part. And then we're going to come back and meet me here for the cuff. I will see you in about 3 seconds. Okay, so just put the sleeves side by side just to make sure that I've done the 10 rounds. I've done the 10 rounds, but I just wanted to make sure that they were both the same. So I'll just finish this one off, which I had before, but it's popped itself out. I'm going to cut this off, and we're going to start on the cuffs, which I've already made one. So there's our sleeves together. Now with the cuffs, I've wanted to do them separately because I want them tight. So what did I do? I done 20 stitches. Sorry, I done 20 chains, dear. 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 20 chain, because one was my turning chain. And then I done 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22 rows. So let's get started with that because I wanted them fairly long. I just love them, they're cute. It's just a lot of cream, that's the only thing. I might remake that, I don't know. I don't think it'll matter, will it, when in the grand scheme of things. Right, so I'll leave that there. And it has gone a little bit higgledy-piggledy, but never mind, dearest. So let's have a look. And I've written it on my book so that I know what I've done. Now then, I would like to do the same for the waistband as well. Right, we'll think about that when we come to it. Right, concentrate. So we're going to chain 20. 1, try and relax. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and I'm going to half double crochet, not into the first one, into the second. Oops. And all of the way back down this row. I'm getting excited because we're getting close. I'm getting close to finishing this. I'm excited. I'm excited to wear it, and I'm going to be excited to make another couple in different colours. So yeah, as I was saying before, the mochas and brownish colours are the colours for the year. So I'll be looking into doing more of that. I was wanting to decorate as well, but you end up doing one room and then you end up doing the whole house. So I don't know. So I've come to the very, very end. It's curling up, don't worry about that. So I'm going to turn, and then I'm going to yarn over into the very first loop, the very first, and I'm going to do like a stack and stitch. Yarn through once and yarn through twice, and that's brought me up to that height. And then I'm doing half double crochet into the back loop only, all the way back down the row. Yes, as I was saying, you decorate one room. See, this room, my craft room's got like a dusky pink walls. I forgot the name of it now. So is it petal pink or something? Anyways, it's really nice and I like it. And then my bathroom's like olive, which I really like, that lovely green. So there's on the stairway with everybody going up and down and the dog, it's like a hessian cream colour, and I don't, it's too light, so I'm wanting to do it either this pinky colour or the green. But then I was looking at the mocha, so I don't know. I can remember years ago having a brown bedroom. Right, so go on into the back loop for the end. Oops, I've lost my stitch. Yarn over, pull through 3, yarn over into the back loop, yarn over into the back loop. Now when we get to the end, it's like a funny little stitch, isn't it, there, if you went into the back, but I don't. You just yarn over and go through the front as well, so you just don't get confused, and it gives it a better edge. So we're going to turn, yarn over into that very first loop, yarn over, pull through 2. I suppose you could pull through all 3 because we're just doing a, should we? Yeah, go on then. Right, so that is us for now. You can measure your wrist and see how long you want your cuff. In fact, I'm going to jump straight onto doing the cuff now, seeing as we've got one and I'm here. Right, and it doesn't matter if it's a little bit, look, that looks smaller that side anyway. Mine is 9 inches, and you've seen that before, but I could have done it less, but I don't really want it. So 8 would have been 2. I would have, when you're pulling it on and off, you would just pull it out of the shape. So I've done it 9 inches. So if you wanted it 10 inches, you could do 10 inches, which would be roughly another 2, so 24 rows on top. So I think every time you go up a couple of sizes, it would be like a size, it would be 2 rows. Yeah, does that make sense? Anywho, so we're going to grab our sleevio and we're going to get our side, so you end on both sides with this. You've got your yarn this end. Oh no, what I should have done, should I do it before I do that? Would that be harder? Yes, I maybe have to sew it together first. Right, scrap that. Try and pick up my needle with these. I did get my nails done shorter. They were humongously long. But that was like after Christmas. Oh, here we go. I need a bigger eye of the needle. So I'm just going to pull these together. And so, just with the overstitch. I never thought of that before. But it's fine, it's perfectly fine. Excuse me. Managed to put the heating on before, so it shouldn't be as cold, but it still feels cool here. Because I film up here and then I like to sit in front of the TV and watch watching the traitors at the minute. I'm dodging between the English one and the US, and I sat and watched all of series 1 of the US and what do they call the girls? Siri. I can't think of her name now. Anyway, I got to the very end one and I thought, I've seen this before. And my grandson come in, he said, why are you watching this again? I said, I haven't seen it. But I think sometimes you sit and crocheting or you're knitting and you don't look up, so you don't really take that much notice. But yeah, I didn't realise till I got to the end that I had seen it. Silly me. Right, so I'm just going to get some more clips. Oh, where are they? No, I'll have to use these if I haven't got enough. Right. So what I'm going to do is, that's the seam there, and the seam's at the top. I forgot how I done it now. Oh, that's it. So it's like when you're sewing the seams in together. You're popping your sleeve inside, and then you're going to bring in this side to there, and then you're going to bring in this side to there, and then we're going to bring in the middle to there, and then the outside one inside. So I'm going into the middle, so just go from the middles. I'm just gonna, should I use that thread? No. Okay, so that's, pin that to there. Right, where's my, I'm going to start with this yarn. I should have left a longer, so for you, if you haven't done it yet, you leave yourself a longer piece of yarn It's not the end of the world, but... And then what we're going to do is just sew our sleeve to the cuffs. So we know we've got more of this, the outer one to use. So instead of going directly opposite to opposite, we're going to go across a little bit. So just give it a little bit of leeway. I'm going to move that to there. And then I'm just going to make a little bunch. Squeeze it with my fingers. So it bunches it together. And then you can grab it and sew it. We're still on the outside of our, sorry, we're still inside out, because there's our seams. And then we're going to pop that down there, and the same again. So we're just going to make sure we've got that on the edge, and we squeeze your little stitches into place. We're not hurting them, we're just squeezing them. I'm going to pop a little knot in here. Because I've run out of yarn. Just pick that up, there we go. And then thread it back through. And we're going to grab some, already got some somewhere. Oh, here's some we made earlier. This what was left from the back, wasn't it? From the original, from the first hexagon. Okay, so where are we at? So just keep moving our cardigan around with us. Squeeze. Pop that there. Just tie a little double knot at this end and pull, and we're going to sew that in as we go. Oops, pardon me. Let's have a look. I'm going to squeeze, pinch that up to the cuff. Yeah, so what was I saying? Oh yeah, the traitors. So I've started on the second one with Ek and Sue, but I've definitely seen the bit, oh well, I won't say it in case you haven't seen it, but yeah, I've seen some of it. So I don't know, I think I've either got a short-term memory loss or long-term memory loss, or I'm just not paying attention to the TV and I'm just crocheting or doing whatever. I also find that if I've been watching a program the night before, what is this? Found a loop. What is that? Right, I'm going to grab that loop because I don't know where it's from. And I don't want it to unravel anywhere, so I'm just going to add that into there. If I've been watching a program and sitting, knitting, crochet, sewing, whatever, then the next day when I pick up, so tomorrow I pick up this, I'll know that I've been recording. But if I've been watching a film, I can pick it up and think, oh yeah, this is what happened in the film at this point of the crochet. So it could be a good way of learning for your exams. I'm keeping you with me actually, this part. I don't want to let you go because I want you to see. I don't want to say, oh, we'll jump to the end and then leave you hanging. I want you to be able to see what I've done, and hopefully I've done it right. Can you imagine? Oh, no way, man. Right, so I'm gonna pull that up and squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then I'm going to jump, jumpy, jump, jump. I'm already thinking of jumping ahead. Say, this is my naughty brain. One job at a time. Shh, don't tell them yet. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. So you've sewn your cuff in nice, and it was a lot smaller than the edge of your sleeve. So you've sewn it in perfectly. Well, I say perfectly, we best wait till I've finished. And if it isn't, then, well, it's going to have to be perfectly finished because I'm not taking anything out. Let's pop a little knot in there. Okay, and we're going to go down the ways and up the ways. And we're even going to be that confident. See my scissors? I can't find it. I've got so many pairs of snippers and scissors. And then, yabba dabba doo. Oh my gosh. Right, so that is how we've done that. Shall we have a little look? Da, 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 da. Well, well, well. Not it turned the right way. Lovely jubbly. Okay, so this was the first sleeve that I've done. Not first sleeve, this is the first side. So then this is the side we need to do more work on. So what I have done is, so pretend this sleeve's done. Fast forward, it will be done by the end of today. But now we're going to get, so we've got our sleeve. Let me just check I'm recording. Yeah. I don't want to do all that and then not be recording. So we've gotten our right sides and wrong sides together. It doesn't matter. And now I'm going to add on to the back. So this is like your shoulder and half of your chest. So I want to join on to the back, centre back bits and add on so many rows. So how we're doing that is we're just going to slip knot onto our hook, and I'm going to join here into that one just there. Oops. All right, and then I'm going to chain 2, probably do half. Oh, I took the wrong side. chain 2, move them out of your way, I'm going to do start with the cluster, chain 1 and work my way down the seam of the chest. Now normally we would carry on, we would have the back, let's see if we can see this, we would have the back bit now, and then I would join this to the back, and then the front would be left open. But because we're making it into a jumper, I've left it open there because I want to sew the hood on at a later stage. So for the moment I just want to be like this. So I'm going to crochet all the way down here, around and back up to the top, but not join there. I haven't decided where I'm going to join yet until we get this done and I try it on, if that makes sense. So we could be just attaching that much, or we could be leaving it open. So we'll have the neck part at the back, the neck part at the back. So I have done another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. So that all that is working your way down 8 times. So you're going to work down this once, it'll be count as once, sorry. I'll take me here just to show you this. Right, so we're going to count all the way down, across the bottom and around, and all the way back up, but don't join at the top. We're not joining at the top. We're just going to chain 2 and turn, chain 2 and turn. And if you're right at the end, you're just going to put three double crochets in. I hope that makes sense. I'll pause it and come back when I've got round to the other side. So went all the way around, so you're just following the outer edge. We've come back up to where we've started. So all I'm going to do is, there's a gap there, and I'm just going to stick a double crochet in there, and I'm going to chain 2 and turn, and then I'm going to go all the way back down, across the bottom and back up the other side. So let's just double check how many times we're going to do this. Let's just see there. Is that one? What's that one? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Doesn't seem right. Oh, we have to check on that one. Oh, it's easier to do on that colour, look. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right. If I write it in the book, then we know. So we're going to do, if we just do our little map. So we're going to do 8, 1. Yes, it's round and round and back up to the back. So just pretend that's 8. So 8 more rows to there. We've done our cuff, so we've got plenty to be getting on with. And I will meet you back when we're ready to join at the back. on that side, and yeah, oopsie. Okay, so now we have two matchy. I want to work out what I'm doing with the neck. I was wanting to put a hood on, and I haven't worked out how I'm going to do that yet. So I'm just going to put these two together. So what have we got? This is our wrong side, wrong side, wrong side. This is our right side. So, no it isn't. Right, put it the right way in. Okay, so that's our back. And that's our back. So we've got 8 extra rows in the middle. So I'm just going to crochet down the center back. So to do this, I'm just going to push that over and flip this one over there. So I've got in essentially the two right sides together. All right, and then I'm going to pin at the bottom just to make sure that we're going to meet at the bottom the same place. I'm going to put a pin in it. We're going to do there, and that should do it. All right, hope you can see okay. All I'm going to do anyways is crochet the seam down the back. Pull that out of the way and pull that through. So I'm just going to single crochet the seam. That's all we're going to do, all the way down the back. Come on. You know when you're trying to rush something, because I've got the bath running, I don't know if you can hear it. It's getting late. But I really wanted to get this together, because once I've got this together, I will spend some time, well, I'm going to try it on and work out how I can fit a hood or just do a collar, which I can't decide if it's going to be a hoodie or not. Well, if it looks all right with the hood, it'll be a hoodie. If it doesn't, it'll have a collar. Couple more steps to do, and then we will be done. So yeah, I'm just going to close this seam at the back, fasten off, and that's me done for today. And then I'll meet you back when I've decided what I'm going to do with the collar. Okay. Okay, so it isn't the next day, it's the same day, because it's bugged me. I knew I had to do something, so I've just tried it on, and what I'm thinking is across the back of the neck to there,
to there. In hindsight, I wouldn't have done these 2 rows at the front or from here. But when I've pulled this over, I've got like a bit of leeway at the front for, obviously, for your boobs, because you've got more room at the boob, haven't you? I think that's how it's gonna work. So what I'm gonna do is sew that up. Oh, and I measured the front, and that's gonna be a V. So I'm gonna do that to there, and that's gonna be open to there, and sew that to there. So my hood's gonna come down here and down there, there and there and there. So I'm still on inside out, so I'm gonna push. I would have unravelled these, but I don't want to make a balls of it. So the next time, I'm going to write on my book now, is 8 rows at the back and 6 rows at the front to make a V. Make a V. So I would just do this, them 2 rows from there up, down, I mean. So I'm going to join them there. So that's going down. That's got 2 rows back to there. So I'm going to put them there, them there, them there, and them there. And that there, because we've got more room at the back. And from the front, oops, I'm just going to clip that into place, and yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to sew across that seam and leave that for the back of my neck, and I'm going to sew there. Okie dokie. So how I'm going to do that is, oh, I've got some yarn already opened. Have I? Nope, I haven't. Lift all this up, and we're still on the, we're still inside out, so I can join here. So I'm going to join at the bottom, front bottom, front bottom. Da, da, da. Oh. I've got kidney infection. Oh, Jesus. Sorry. But it is excruciating, painful if anybody suffers from water infections. But apparently it's part of the chemotherapy. You've got low immunes and all of the things. So I do get everything that's going, and I'm trying to keep away from people because there's so many germs going about. If I can fathom out how to use it, I'll have fast forwarded this bit. If not, you're stuck with me. And my bath is getting cold, but I just had to do this.
I just had to. Oh, yes. I know what I'm going to do as well. And I have got about 3 balls left, so, oh no, 4 maybe? I don't know. No, 3, maybe 3 balls left. So we had 10 to start with. But I've already put the numbers up at the beginning of the video because we'll want to know how many you need for your purchase if you're going to buy some. Also, I do like using scrap yarns for hexagons because I would do, say if I had 1 skein of pink, so I would use the pink, I would do pink, pink, blue, blue, yellow, yellow, and then, so I would still do them both the same on both sides, or you could just do a mishmash of all of the colours, and not, doesn't matter if it's the same. So when I get up to the pin, I am going to stop because that's the start of the hood. So I want to stop at the pin. Then I'm going to sew the top section of the neck and shoulders, and then come back to start the hood. And then I want a piece of, like, is it like an I-cord? Oh, then I've got to do a waistband, and the waist is far too big for me. Because, you know, like sometimes when you do the shorter length hexagon cardigans, they don't lay flat at the back. Well, they probably do once they've been washed, but it's just sticking out a little bit. So I am going to make a waistband like I done the cuffs. So I've got all that to do. So yeah, I would say I'm going to use the full 10 skeins, balls, whatever you call them. Right, so just take this up a little bit. Let me have a look. Maybe about 7 inches. I usually do down the collar. That's 8, 9. I'll do about there. Da, da, da. Right, so that can wait there. I'm going to turn again. I hope this isn't getting too crazy for you. Did I say I was gonna? Yeah, I want that flat, don't I? Right. That's the centre. I want 1, 2 and a half. Push it as far back as I can. Dum, dum, dum. Another one bites the dust. Down another one bites. Another one bites the dust. Hey, get this. One bites the dust. Right, I've already crocheted them. So I think I should carry on crocheting the same. So the seam's the same across the very top, even though that's in that colour. It's trial and error, isn't it? I'll have to write a little pattern for this. That could be my job tomorrow. never written a pattern before, but all I'm going to do is just write out what I've done. How hard can it be? That was a big sigh. La, 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 la. Actually, I nearly cut that off. What I'll do is I'll just a little crochet across the back of the neck, single crochets or slip stitches. No, single crochets. Right, so we've got 1, 2, where we at? I hope this works out okay. But if not, oh, I don't want to frog it all. Well, I won't have to frog it all, but, you know, frog the back. I'll make it into a cardigan. I could do that. But I know where I've went wrong. I'll just have to make another one. Oh, what a shame. Oh, what a shame. Oh. Sorry. Well, that's it. I'll just slip stitch into the top of there and there. Now we can cut. All right. Put a little knot in there. So I hope you're getting me. I hope you're catching the drift. So really, that gap could have been, or would it have been? I don't know. That gap could have been a little bit, yeah, maybe I have to decrease it there, I don't know. Right. So next, I'm going to put the hood on. So the hood is, I'm going to write this in my book. The hood, I'm going to so to start on our hood, we're just going to do our measurements for how big we want our hood. So we're going to go, so we're going to write the hood, Gonna do a picture of your head, and your cardigan should be, not your cardigan, your jumper, we want the V, and now this is joined up. Okay, so we want the measurements from there to there, do we? Let me see. Da, 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 da. Is it usually about? No, I don't. Right, so I've measured up and over my head. From there to there is 24, so that means I want my hood to go 12 inches high, if that makes sense. And then from the back of my neck around to the front, around about 16ish. No, it's not, it's usually about 10. So we're going to measure along the back of the neck, which is normally 2 to 3, and then down to there we've already got 13, so I want to do it from, say, 12. So this part at the front is going to be to 12 inches down from the across the back of your neck. Oh. Did you see what I did there? That's a crochet hook. Right, so we've got the cardigan now. Jumper, jumper. Oh dear. And this here, so you want, you measure in there. So I've got 2 inches there, and I'm down, I want to be 12 inches all the way from there down to there. So I'm going to mark it at 12, which isn't far off anywhere, where I'm going to start adding on for my hood. All will become apparent. And then obviously the same down the opposite side, which is a bit easier because if you were doing with your cardigan, you have to measure it up. But this time, once we've done one side, we're just going to join it to there. So carry on. Oh yeah, and today's a new day because I'd done so far of it yesterday, and then I've took it out because when I went to bed I realised what I'd done wrong. So I've frogged it. Okay. But I mean, this is personal choice as well. So what I'm going to do now is start working on this side for the hood and work all my way around with your cluster stitch. So if we take this out, now I'm just going to do, so I want to build up gradually, so I'm just going to do a half double crochet, so that's a single crochet, and then we're going to do a half double crochet into there, and then we're going to do our 3 double crochet cluster into this gap, And what that'll do is just do a nice seamless join to there. So you're not going to have like a big clump. I just want it to go gradually. And then we just carry on with our granny clusters. Chain in between now. Oh yeah, I didn't chain in between the first couple because I just wanted them to be a bit tighter there. I was going to do for, oh no, I'll leave it. I was going to talk about the bottom, but I won't because I do this every time and I get ahead of myself and I just need to concentrate on one part. So as we're coming up to the hood, so we don't have it like too tight along our neck, we're going to just add a couple extra granny clusters. We're not going to make, you know, we're going to give ourselves some room in the hood to move. So what I mean by that is just to give yourself, rather than jumping over, say, to there, we want to put one there. Because we want it to drop as well. So when it's folded over, you don't want like it bunched up, you want it to have a little bit of movement. So one there, I'm going to pop one here, just there, the other side of the seam. Oops. I meant to go in that same seam, sorry. Go back, go back, go back, go back. Right, into the same hole. That's it. Chain one. So all we're doing is just adding a little bit of extra fabric just here on these corner bits, which will become apparent later on. We're going to chain one. I was going to try and fit that in, but you know what, we're doing a lot, so we don't need to give ourselves any extra work. And then I want to do another one in the center there. So we want to make sure that we've got plenty of hood. And then 3 there. Where are we now? Coming to the other part, back part of the neck. Trouble is now we've got all of this cardigan jumper to fight on with. There we go. And then we want to find a place for 2 clusters here. So I'm going to pop one there, one there. So we're going to pop one there as well. So this side of the shoulder, so we're going to pop this one in there. Yeah, I'll do that gap there. Hope you can see okay. Just squeezing the extra granny clusters in the corners. Chain one, and then we're moving down our the lapel. Is it lapel area? And then we get near to where we started. We're going to do similar to the opposite side. You can feel where you're running out of space because your hand's in your way there. Okay, so we're down to our last couple. So we're just going to go opposite to see what we've done. So we've done a granny cluster there. So chain 1 and your granny cluster. And then without a chain, we're going to do another granny cluster. Oopsie, caught. And we're going to half double crochet into the bottom. I'm going to turn, I'll chain 2 and turn, and then we're going to work our way back up this side. So I'm not going to put anything in there because I don't want to make it bulky, so just jump right over to your next gap. Chain 1. So we're going to work like this now without just working into our very end ones. Chain 1, cluster, and chain 1 all the way back around to this corner again. So filling in, and then we're just going to, when we get to this end, just do our last chain 1, chain 3 into there and turn. So without making it too bulky, so we're just going to have it the same on that side. I'll show you anyway, so I'll join you back up when we get to that side. When you come across the back again, there's not going to be any room to chain 1 in between where we've pushed the extra clusters in, so don't worry about that. Just get the stitches on your granny clusters, so you don't have to put your extra chain in this row. I'll put one in there because we're getting a bit of a gap now. So you'll just play it by ear. You'll know yourself when you come across. If it feels stretched, then put a chain stitch in like this one. Now we're back to putting our chains in. Oops. So we're just working our way back down to the other side. So we're just going to yarn over and chain into that bottom cluster space. I'm going to chain 3 and turn. We're not going to decrease, I just wanted to make it smooth at the bottom. Is that right? Just let me open it and see. Nope. So I want to make it a bit more. One, 2, 3. Slip. Is it? Yeah, slip to the bottom. Just want to make it exactly the same. Now we'll double crochet. It's because I'm trying to think. That's better. You could always just put a little stitch in there to join it. We'll see at the end, because now I want to build up for the hood. So now I'm going to build up on 12 inches, but when we get to about 8 inches I'm going to stop and start decreasing at the back of the hood to make it round, unless you want the back of the hood will be just square. So that's your shoulder. So we want to start rounding it up, and I usually do about 8 inches to 10 inches depending on the size, and I'll just be rounding it off slightly, just so that you don't, well, not maybe that much, but you know what I mean. Or you could put a little tassel on there. But so that's what I'll be doing. So I will carry on now, because when we get to this end we're just going straight up. So you do a single crochet, you double crochet and then skip right over into your clusters, and then all the way around for 8 inches, and I will meet you back there. So I just thought I would show you quickly. This is how big the hood is now. I've done another row. So one row we're going to end with I keep saying single crochet. You double crochet. Then we're just going to chain 2, turn. I don't know if you can even see it this way, but I thought I've come downstairs to watch the traitors. So I've been recording upstairs. And then you're going back into your first block, see, as that's counted as your first double crochet, and then you've got another crochet. Where am I at? So then you chain 1, honestly, and going off topic for 1 minute, I've just got ready. I thought I haven't worn any makeup. I've been poorly with a kidney infection, so I thought I'll just get some makeup on, you know, do a little bit of recording. I sat down, I started sweating. Honestly, these senior moments are getting a bit much, aren't they? You know, at my age. So there we go. We're just gonna, so one will be a double and then a cluster, and then a double on its own and then a cluster, working 8 inches, which by reckoning from from the others it's about 16 rows, but don't quote me on that. Measure measure yourself, and depending on how I feel, we might just stay here for the next part, seeing as I've put some makeup on. See that? Oh, disgusting. Disgusting. Right, back to the traders. So after trying a few different ways of doing the waistband, I have decided on going for the 2 double crochets together. So double crochet, not finish, double crochet, pull through and not finish, double crochet, pull through 4, double yarn over, pull through 4, yarn over, pull through 2. So I'm just going to double crochet 2 together all the way around, yarn over, pull through without finishing, yarn over, pull through without finishing, yarn over, pull through 4, yarn over, pull through 2. So let's just do this all the way around and see if that works. Yes, so it was halfway up the hood that I realised I was running out of yarn, and I thought if I carry on doing the hood, I might not have enough to do the bottom. So I stopped to do the bottom, and I thought, oh, I'll just do the footage on at the end, but it doesn't flow right. So I've had to put it where I'd actually done it the next day. So what I'm doing is, I was going to do a double crochet into every stitch, but because I wanted the jumper to be tight around the waistband, I've decided to do double crochet 2 together all the way around, which does work better for me, and it might work better for you. But if you want it loose, then just do a double crochet all the way around. Just do any border that you want. But what I've done is a double crochet 2 together all the way around, and yeah, so it might feel a bit odd that I've done this right in the middle, but I just thought I can do without a hood. You know, if it didn't turn out that I'd run out of yarn, I could have done without a hood, but not without the waistband. So that's why I had to stop and do the waistband, and then I'll carry on with the hood once I finish this. So apologies if you're wondering what's happening. So that's all I'm doing all the way around is double crochet 2 together. No singles or anything, just double crochet 2 together all the way around for the end of this row. Okay, so we're going to join at the beginning of the row. Let's pull forward, slip stitch into that top, and chain 2 and turn. So it's still quite big. Now I'm going to do a rib stitch. Hopefully, or do I carry on doing this? Yeah, we'll do a rib stitch. So we're going to go into the front of this stitch, round the front, yarn over, pull through and pull up, and the next one we're going forward to back. As there is a proper tutorial on how I do this stitch down below, I will link it in the description. Okay, so I'll meet you around at the other end. We'll probably do a couple of rows like this. Now this will bring it in together as well, because it's with it being a rib stitch. So I've done about 6 rows now on the rib stitch at the bottom. So that's all I've done. I've fastened it off, and I'll tie all the ends in later on. But yeah, we can get back to doing the hood now. Now we've got our 8 inches up the side of the hood, and it was 16 rows, so I'm getting used to my own tension and how I'm working for these hexagon cardigans. So for this, from this way onwards till I get to the top, maybe about 4 more rows, I'll try that. I'm going to chain 2 and turn, and now I don't want to put my single crochet in between the stitches because I want it to start shaping in a bit tighter to go around the top of your head. So just do your 3 double crochet into every gap without a chain 1 in between, and we're very much down to the wire with our yarn. Oh, see, it's so you get used to switching off and just doing a stitch without even thinking about it, and I keep going to do a single crochet. I'm being put off by my dog sitting doing the chomp chomp thing, annoying a thing that a dog can do. She's got a habit as well of burping when I've made me food, so I'll come to sit down and she'll go burp, which is very off-putting. Shh. Right, so as we're getting to the middle, where we're going to, this is the only change that we're going to do on every round from now on. We're going to do like a reduce in a stitch, so this will just stop it from being pointy. So we're coming up to the center stitch, and instead of doing the 3 clusters in the middle, we're just going to do 1 double crochet. So here we are. I hope you can see me there. I'll just check. I don't think you've been able to see me. Okay. So we've worked our way across. We haven't put any single crochet in between each cluster, and we've got to the center back. Instead of doing 3 double crochets, we're just going to do 1 into that center one, and we're going to do that in every row. Then we'll carry on doing our 3 double crochet without a chain 1 all the way across to the end of this row. Just want to check again that I'm recording. Yeah. So we're just going to yarn over and double crochet into the very top of the last cluster there. Chain 2 and turn, which will be our first cluster. Aren't we just getting they need to be sewn in any ends, and we're just going to do the same again. So we're going to do our cluster, and this row we're just going to repeat until we get the height that we want, which I'm going for 10 inches to start with. On previous hoods it's been 12, but I think it's just been a little bit too big, and I wanted this one to be a bit more fitted, the hood, so it wasn't as floppy, and that's why I'm going for the rounded, the back of the hood, rather than it just being a straight. Hope that's what's the word, I hope that makes sense, but you'll be able to see what I mean if I can't explain it properly. So rather than I haven't even got my book, rather than it being straight up and straight down, we're going to have a curve towards the top. And if you didn't want to curve towards the top and you wanted it like a pixie hood, just carry on straight right up for your 10 inches, or however many rows that you need for your own head. So as we're coming towards the center stitch again, we're there now. So where I was just about to go into that, then do 3 clusters, we're just going to go into that very, very top stitch. We're going to meet that there. So yarn over into the top, yarn over, pull through. It's just a double crochet, but instead of going into the gaps, we're going into the very top of the stitch, and then we're going into the gaps, carrying on for the rest of the row without a single crochet in between. And I can feel the actual shape in my hand. I can feel that it's taken shape. So that's my 2 rows, whereas when I've been measuring, my 2 rows are 1 inch. So that's made it to 9 inches. So I've got another 2 rows to do, which will make 10 inches. And then I'm going to try it on for size. So I will, instead of you just sitting watching me do this, carry on as we are. So no more increases, we're just following that double crochet. So done another, finish that row, back again on the next row. I just wanted to show you again. So that's where we would normally go in with our cluster, and we're just going to yarn over and go into the very top of that double crochet from the row below. So now we're getting on to do, I'll just, let me think about how many rows I've done from the, oh, it's hard to see because I've carried on. Where are you? Where are you, my dear? Are we there? Yes. Right, so we have done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I'm going to do up to 20 and I'll meet you back then. I've done now 20 rows of the hood section, and you'll be able to see where the curve has gone. So it's decreased on its own, give you that nice, not on its own, you know, we're just doing that one rather than the cluster. It's give us a nice top curve to it. So all I'm going to do now is seal the top, seal the deal. I'm going to close the top with a And this is all I've got left as well. And I'm going to go around the front. But for this particular moment in time, let's move them out of my way, I'm going to close the top seam by crocheting. So I've got my two edges. This is going to be my face, that's the top of my head. Close together and single crochet all the way along that top seam. In fact, I don't know if I'm going to put a rib around the front, around the face. We shall see. Okay, I can see the sun's coming out. I just found some loose ends, so I've just crocheted them in as I've gone along. I'm so excited to finish, especially when I thought I was finished like ages ago and I wasn't. So very well done everybody that's crocheting along with me. We've done a curved hood, we've done the hood, we've done cuffs, we've done a waistband, we've made it into a sweater type hoodie. We have done amazingly well. So I'm just going to cut off, oh, might have been a bit smaller. Getting overexcited, you see. I'm going to go over everywhere and just neaten everything up, sewing all my ends. And then we shall have a look at the bigger picture, shall we? So well done for sticking this far. I hope you're still with me. I hope everybody's still watching. Please subscribe, like, leave a comment. Please, please, please follow me on Instagram, Sassy Stitches by Sherry or Shez, and send me your pictures. I want to see these beautiful combination colours of hexagon cardigans. All right, so now we're going to turn in the right way and take some photographs. Oh, I found another end there, it needs sorted out. Thank you for watching. So hopefully you've got all them. If you need to take some notes, there we are. So that was me. That's the diagram of the hood, and I done, did I say 20 rounds? 20 rounds. Perfectio.